guaranteed.
Yeah.
$30 million is up front as a signing bonus. I'll let you go do your business, man.
Okay, cool beans.
Okay.
Hello, everybody. Mark Holmes here, and as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally does not work. We're done. We're out of here. Earl Thomas has left the building and is he's signed a 4-year, $55 million deal. Okay, so back to the drawing board for the Dallas Cowboys. Okay, so it's done. We're out of the running. We can go back to life now because, hang on. Hello. Hey, what's up? I'm breaking news right now. Earl Thomas is signed by the Ravens. Yeah, so I just went on. I'm on live right now. So sadly, it's done and it's over with. While you were, I actually broke it on the other channel. But thanks for letting me, for keeping up with me. All right. Yeah, and that's where I was like, oh, let me run downstairs and get this thing going. So tell him I said congratulations. Okay, bye. All right, so that was, my wife was like, you didn't break the news about Earl Thomas? Is like, well, that's on the other channel because I was working there. It's done. It's over with. So time to move on and go with plan B. So my thing is this, since we didn't sign Earl Thomas, and I'm literally sorry that I'm actually getting on here without actually setting up everything. So let me turn everything on real quick here so I can see what we're doing. Sorry, wanted to jump on here and everything else. Now the Cowboys have some work to do on getting themselves together and getting ready for the season. I'm not mad about not signing him. I wanted him. We all know I wanted him. I believe that he would make a difference maker on our team, and from a standpoint of being a team leader, from the standpoint of being a guy who could really help us out, teach the younger guys. But the reality is, you can't pay everybody. You just can't. And that kind of number, 13.7, 4-year deal, I'm not sure I'd want to be stuck with a 4-year deal with that. Now, you can say that, well, I'm full of crap or whatever, and that's fine because, well, quite frankly, everybody says that. But, you know, almost $14 million was too much. If we could have gotten him for a little bit less, I'd been happy as could be to get him, but we couldn't, so it is what it is. So it's on to the next guy. We will no longer be talking about Earl Thomas because Earl Thomas, well, he is now elsewhere. I don't think our priorities change any because we still need to upgrade at safety, and we still need to work on the defensive line. So I don't think our priorities have changed. It's just that it's changed in the players that you got. There are still other guys out there that you can get. I mean, there's Clinton Dix that's out there. There's Trey Boston that's still out there. And there's the draft as well. So what I would honestly be looking at if I'm the Cowboys is to start figuring out if there's somebody that I can plug into the defensive line. Because ultimately, it may not be that we go for anybody that's a free agent. The thing you want to look at for me is you want to plug as many holes as you can so that way when you go to the draft, you can draft the best player available. And Eric Berry may be released by Kansas City, which is true, Steffi. Bates. That is a possibility. He could be released by them. We don't know if that'll happen or not. But I agree with you, Brandon. I really wanted Earl Thomas here. I thought it would have been a natural fit. But it's not doesn't always work out. Oh no, 7-9 this year. No, Jack, you're way off. No. The Dallas Cowboys are actually in a really good position. When you look at what the New York Giants are doing right now, the New York Giants stink. They stink. Okay, the Washington Redskins, they're not in much better shape. It's a two-horse race for the division. It is the Eagles basically trying to get some guys. Stop. This is what drives me crazy about some of our fan base. We haven't even done a single OTAs, and we got people that are already, our season is over, we're screwed. Why are we so negative? We went through the same thing. You can go through deja vu of last year. Deja vu, we got rid of Dez Bryant. Oh my God, it's the worst thing in the world. Okay, so we get rid of Cole Beasley this year. You can go back to 2013 when we got rid of DeMarcus Ware and Jason Hatcher. And everybody, our season is done. You could go back to 2016 when Tony Romo got, our season is done. Why don't we wait till the season at least gets here before we give up and throw in the towel? Can we do that? Can we honestly do that? I think Earl Thomas could have taken our good defense a step higher. I believe that. Yes, I truly believe that he could have taken us a step higher. But, unfortunately, that's not going to happen because, he didn't sign with our Cowboys. But guess what? You can look at a lot of players that we didn't have last year that could have possibly helped our team. But we did okay with the ones we have. Now, I'm telling you, there's still other people out there. There are other people. So you get your deal done with DeMarcus Lawrence. You look for a big nasty in the middle on the defense right now. And then you go into the draft and say, okay, we need another defensive lineman. We need a safety. We need a backup offensive lineman. We need another tight end. Then you're going through with a strength of power. Now here's the good thing still, because here's what you got to understand. What you got to understand is people are spending a boatload of money right now. All except for one team out there. One team is not spending a shitload of money. You know what team that is? The one that just won the Super Bowl. What do? They wait. They let you guys spend all your money. Look at the New York Giants right now. I wanted the Cowboys to be players in free agency. I did. But the Cowboys have done something that has actually worked for them. The New York Giants had signed Odell Beckham to a big-ass contract like we did with Dez Bryant, right? Is the channel down or is it just me? It must just be you, Sal. I'm hoping it's just you. The New York Giants signed Odell to a big-ass contract, and Odell has had an injury problem and mental problems the last couple of years. And they've dumped him. They traded him. They got draft picks back. Don't get me wrong. They got draft picks. But the New York Giants are spending $33 million in dead money. They're still paying Odell Beckham. $33 million in dead money. So when you look at it from that standpoint, we only have about $4 million in dead money. We finally got rid of the Tony Romo. We got rid of the Dez deal. We got rid of all those bad contracts. And right now we still have money that we can spend on free agents. Now here's the thing. This is the crazy time. People are grabbing people left and right. Le'Veon Bell getting $52 million. Odell Beckham already talking about wanting a new contract here. Good, now you can stop your 2-year rant that ET was coming to Dallas, so light up the pit and roast your crow. Oh, wrong again. Well, Michael, how many other, okay, so it was close. It was close to being here. It was close. You cannot say that the Dallas Cowboys weren't trying to. Name me something else I was wrong about. I was right about Des Bryant being kicked out of here when nobody else said it was going to be. I was right about Dak Prescott. I was right about Calais Campbell. I was right about the season and making the playoffs and winning the division. Cowboys Crunk, I agree with you. But not at $14 million for Ndamukong Suh. That's too much. That's too much. But what we're hearing is money we're not spending. But hold on for a second here. Here's what you got to understand. This isn't the be-all, end-all of free agency. This is just the first round. This is teams that are desperate mode that say, I got to grab this guy. You're going to have a second wave that happens after the draft. After teams pick up players that they didn't think they had a chance to get, and they start dumping some of those big salaries. Then there's the third wave, which comes around training camp. So there's still people out there that will be available. The thing is, the Cowboys have to just start being able to decide, we're going to go ahead and start making some more moves than we normally don't do, which is spend a little bit more. The Cowboys are famous for trying to be frugal and find value where nobody else does. So, you know, I know it would have been nice for us to have a shiny new piece, but in the end, it may be better in the long run. Remember last year with the Cowboys were, Sir Cowboy, thank you very much for the super chat, signed Justin Houston. Remember last year when we were supposedly interested in Sammy Watkins? You know, we were talking about getting him for he went for $16 million. Let me see if I can get that. Sammy Watkins contract, because we were talking about getting that guy, remember? Let's take a look at that contract of his. Okay, guess we're not going to get it. We talked about getting Sammy Watkins last year for $16 million. He ended up getting $26 million contract over 3 years, right? Was that Sammy Watkins? With most of that being guaranteed. We didn't get that guy. Let's look at what his stats were. "39 receptions. 39 receptions last year, 593 yards. And we were talking about getting that guy, and we were pissed off that we didn't get him. And guess what? We ended up making the right move in getting Amari Cooper later on. Had we gotten Amari, of course, sooner, it would have been nicer. But, you know, these kind of things happen. And unfortunately, we just didn't get Earl Thomas. But we may end up looking Tate Clinton in Houston. That'd be interesting because you may end up being, here's the thing. You're talking about $13.7 million for Earl Thomas. If you can get 2 defensive linemen for that, I'm good. I'm good. Because, you know, look at, say, I don't know what Suh wants. He had 14 last year. He's made a boatload of money, so I don't know if money is the be-all, end-all. If they go through, let's say they get him for, say, a $7 or $8 million deal with incentives and stuff, and put him in there and still have 5 or 6 left over, hey, I'm good. As long as we do something to improve that defense that will help us to get turnovers. Well, thank you, Kerry. I appreciate that, man. So he's not the only player out there that you can get to try and help the team. May as well let Garrett. Why are you guys so defeated? Oh, my God. Do you guys really believe that the Washington Redskins, because they ended up signing Landon Collins and Case Keenum, are going to be a better team? Do you guys honestly believe that they are ready to compete? Do you honestly believe that the Giants are better letting go Odell Beckham? Do you believe that? Nothing, no. Joseph, here's what the Cowboys are doing. I think the Cowboys have a philosophy of don't make a move first week. Regardless. Stay true. Don't get trigger happy. Wait and let the dust clear. Because you'll remember last year, the team basically was out to lunch. They were on vacation. They were I'm not going to cry. Chosen one. I wanted him. But I told you guys, I wanted him last year. But I said, 3rd round draft pick as high as I go. Because you built this whole thing up, Mark. Wait a minute. I'm sorry. The comments are flying through here because everybody's looking for me to jump off the bridge, I guess, here. But I'm not going to kill myself. Fullback, okay, that's cool. There we go. Hold it. I'm trying to pull these things back, but the comments are flying through here. Because I built the whole thing up, Mark. You got people's hopes up, laugh out loud. Well, look, Manuel, I've done the same thing every year. I find a guy that I believe can be a difference maker for the team. That's what I do. Demario Davis was another one last year that I said that would be a great free agent. And Demario Davis over the last 2 seasons has over 240 tackles and 10 sacks. I said that would be a great guy to bring in here. I said Calais Campbell would be a great guy to build in here. And I still believe Earl Thomas would have been a great guy to bring in here. Doesn't mean it's going to work out. I'm sorry if I got your hopes up. Jerry Jones doesn't employ me, at least not yet. I was hopeful that we could do it. I was passing on the information that I had to you guys as it came. They can clown me all. You know what, chosen ones? They can try and clown me all you want, but go right ahead. Go right ahead, because I'm a grown-ass man. If this is the only I tell you what, if us not signing Earl Thomas is the only thing they can get on me, I'm doing pretty damn good then. I'm doing really, really good then. And they can clown all they want. And I guarantee you're probably right. They are probably out there right now using my name saying Mark Holmes messed up again. And that's cool. If it helps their channel grow, by all means. But I can guarantee you one thing. I guarantee you that a lot of you will still be here. And in the end, what I'm looking at and what I try and do, no, I'd have to miss about, 20 times or more before I'm the new Ian Rappaport. We just signed Eric Berry. Yeah, okay. I love how, come on. You know what? Bring it on, haters. Bring it on, haters. I'm cool. It's funny how you cockroaches who aren't here on an everyday basis, when there's something that you might have an opportunity to get me at, that you guys come out the woodwork. Come on, show everybody how you are truly a fair weather fan, and that you guys are just around just to be a frickin' asshole. Okay? Come on, bring it to me. Bring it to me. But I said I will go back to what I said from the beginning. When last year they were talking about giving up a number 1, I said that's too much. I want the guy, but I don't want to pay too much. And $13.7 million for him is too much money, especially at 4 years. God bless you. Congratulations on getting that money. And I wish you well, Earl. But that's not what I want to do on the team. I want to build the team. I want to win championships. But I damn sure can't spend $13.7 million on that guy. Because here's the thing. Earl's on the tail end of his career. You want to rent him. I'm not salty. Oh, BD, I'm not salty. What I am is I'm actually talking trash to the cockroaches that never in here that are coming in here because they want to now try and smear my name. I don't mind. Listen, let me say this, because I'm a grown-ass man. Understand, I got no problem I got no problem with somebody saying, you know what, you're wrong, and talking trash to me, as long as they are here on a regular basis. Because you are only a fair weather fan. You only come on when it's advantageous for you. I'm here every single day, and I put myself on the line daily. And you, my friend, who haven't been in here ever except when something goes wrong for the Cowboys, are nothing but a fair weather cockroach. I have no problem if Tom Donnelly comes in and talks trash to me, because he'll dish it out, but he'll take it. And in the end, everything I'm doing is trying to figure out what can the Dallas Cowboys do to try and become a better team. And if that means Earl Thomas, DJ Mel, thank you very much for the super chat. I appreciate you, as well as Sir Cowboy. Thank you very much for the support. In the end, as good as I think Earl Thomas could be for the defense, it wouldn't be good at $13.7 million for 4 years. It's too much. And that's where the Cowboys did the right thing and didn't bite on that. That's it. I need to give Earl Thomas a piece of my YouTube channel. Okay. I think Earl needs to give me a piece of it, because I'm the one out here telling everybody how good the guy is. He need to give me a little bit of, he need to let me hold a little something. I think he's got a few dollars he can spare. But it's all good. But hey, guys, calm down. Calm down. DJ Mel in the house. Thank you very much for the super chat. Calm down. Stop giving this up. Let's stop this for 1 second here. Do some of you guys really believe that the whole season, whether we're having a winning season or a losing season, was all on Earl Thomas? You really believe that we'll go from being a Super Bowl team to a team with a losing record just because of Earl Thomas? I never thought he would be that big a player for the team. I was looking at maybe a difference of maybe 1 or 2 games. I was looking at, had we had a safety who could cover and cover ground quickly, that Jared Goff wouldn't have gotten the first down, and we would have had an opportunity to try and take over the score. But I don't believe that our whole season hinged on him. But you want to try and get as many advantages as possible. And when you look at $13.7 million for him, that's where you start saying, for $13.7 million, that kind of money, I can get me 2 defensive linemen that may be more impactful than that one chunk to him. And if you want to say that I'm wrong, go ahead. That's cool. Like I said, I'm a grown-ass man, and I can take it. And it's funny because if you remember last year how everybody said our season is over when we lost Dez Bryant. Remember that? You remember sitting here last year when Dez Bryant was released? We won't do anything. Dak Prescott sucks as a quarterback. We need another quarterback, yet didn't we make the playoffs and win at least one game? I'm not satisfied with one game, but didn't we do that? Regardless of the naysayer, even when we started out 3-5, didn't we make the playoffs? Didn't we turn things around? Didn't we end on a higher note? I want our defense to take another step forward. I love it. Fake fans. Oh, okay. Steffi thinks fake fans, Mark. I love this. I got Mark Bayless. Okay. I believe Skip Bayless said that the Cowboys were going to sign him this morning too, didn't he? He was all over Mark till we got Amari. Who was all over me? Are you talking? Okay. But, hey, Dak does suck? Okay, well, you know what? Then this is not, then B, Alamento, this is not the channel for you then, because this is a Dak-friendly channel. I believe in my quarterback. If you don't like our quarterback, then you may not want to be here. This is not the place for you. I'll say that much. I'll disagree with you about upgrading, because sometimes, here's where I want you to think about this, though, okay? We'll be okay without Earl Thomas. Maybe we'll be as good without him. It just depends on what other moves that they make. Because the Dallas Cowboys, as much as we give Jerry Jones shit and Stephen Jones, when you look at the trajectory of the Dallas Cowboys and what we have been able to do through the draft and bottom basement shopping, we've got talent. Now, you can just debate on the coaching, because that's a whole nother ball of wax. But this team has as much talent as anybody else, and they haven't overpaid for them. The Washington Redskins, every freaking year, they are the big splash in free agency. Landon Collins, to me, is not worth $84 million over 6 years. He's a great linebacker at safety, at run stopping, but he can't cover and he doesn't get turnovers. But that's what the Washington Redskins do. You know, right now in Washington, you listen to their sports talk stations. Oh man, they're happy as can be, man. Oh, we got a safety and stuff. You know, he's better than Swearinger and things. And of course we got Case Keenum. He's going to be, you know, a really good. And maybe we'll go ahead and trade for Josh Rosen and get it. Every year it's the same thing. Last year was like, oh, we got Alex Smith, man. Now, you know, we got rid of Kirk Cousins and things because Kirk Cousins was holding us back. We got Alex Smith. He's going to be great. We got Adrian Peterson. He's going to be great. One of the best running backs in the history of football. And what happened? What happened? Fell on their face. The New York Giants, 2016, spent $250 million on their defense. It was pretty good for one season. Then the next year, it wasn't. And they needed help on the offensive line. And they've been in the basement ever since. And now they got $33 million of dead money, and they're literally starting all over. Because what you got to look at first and foremost is you got to win your division. And 2 out of 3 years, we've won our division. We've had enough talent on the field, and we got our financial house in order after being consistently over the cap. The Cowboys couldn't have, that's one of those ones that you can look at and say maybe, yeah, that they should have traded Cole Beasley instead of Switzer, who was younger and cheaper. That would have been a New England Patriot type move. But we didn't sign any big names last year, and we were a better team. Because here's the difference of what happened. Let's go back to 2017. 2017, the biggest problem we had was we did not have depth. We had great players across the board, you know, when they were healthy. Dez Bryant, when healthy, was a great wide receiver and when he could catch the ball. But the problem was he couldn't stay healthy and on the field. And your best availability is your availability. Tyron Smith, when healthy, was a great offensive tackle. But once he went down, we didn't have enough money to pay good offensive linemen to be backups. Hence, when you lost that expensive piece right there, because so much money was spent on that guy, you couldn't afford to spend money on quality guys that are going to have to pay, that are going to have to play. Hence, you went from Pro Bowler to a guy that should be out of football. So what we did last year was, instead of going out there and getting a big free agent, they ended up spreading that money out and getting as many guys to fill in. You got to admit, Cam Fleming, when Tyron Smith went down, did an admirable job. He wasn't Tyron Smith, but he wasn't Chaz Green. When Connor Williams got hurt, Salafalo stepped in. Wasn't as good as Connor Williams, but played enough that he could not, we didn't lose anything. When we lost Travis Frederick, you had a Joe Looney who was able to step in and play the whole season. When Sean Lee got hurt like he usually does, You were smart enough to draft Van Der Esch, who played better than Sean Lee. And that's the thing that New England does. They don't go out and spend $1 million for an Earl Thomas. They don't overpay keeping an aging veteran. They let him walk, and they find a person to replace him. Or you find a person who has maybe been down a little bit, is looking to restart their career. That's what the good teams do. And you look at all these teams that are jumping around, spending all this money on 2 or 3 guys. They don't win the Super Bowl. So, am I sad we didn't get Earl Thomas? Yes, I am. I wanted to get that guy. But I also wanted to get him at a realistic price, and the Cowboys were right to say, we'll go 8 to 10, but we're not going to get into a bidding war with it. And what'll happen is, and I can guarantee you this, because when you sign a big name free agent, you got a 2-year window, and that's about as long as they ever last, because they're gone. You just become too expensive. And he's older, okay? So, you know, you only get older. You don't get better. Mark, why have a chat if you're not commenting? I'm trying to, but the chats are flying through there, and I'm actually answering some different questions because people will say, you know, you're salty and stuff. It's like, I'm just not salty. I'm trying to explain it. So, Rick Frederick, I am trying to comment on them, but literally, they're flying through. Yeah, Earl Thomas moved his family just to sign with the Ravens. Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see if the family just stays there and he just goes to Baltimore. I can't see them necessarily moving to Baltimore. I mean, you get the DC area and everything else, but what did Earl get? Earl got basically $13.7 million a year, 4 years. Stop comparing New England to New England. You are them now. I wish we were New England winning Super Bowls on a regular basis. When I'm trying to auto therapy, here's what you got to do. I don't care if it's football. I don't care if it's your job. I don't care if it's your marriage. Whatever it is, look at people that are successful and try and find out what are they doing that's working for them and it's not working for me. Because maybe the things that they're doing that is working and the things that I'm doing that are not working, maybe I need to be more like the ones that are having it right. So when I talk about New England, you got to look at them and say, when it comes to winning Super Bowls, they are the gold standard here. When you look at the Washington Redskins, they're down here. The Dallas Cowboys lately, we're down here. So if we are down here and not winning what this guy is doing, then maybe we need to look up here and say, what are you guys doing that's working? Because maybe I need to take a little bit of that myself. Well, but here's the thing. You can say that it's because Jerry Jones bought the boat. Having that boat has nothing to do with what you have to spend on the salary cap. The salary cap goes on gross revenue from the NFL, and that's money that you have to spend. Well, Matt, that's not even an argument there. The Patriots, of course, are better coached than the Cowboys. That everybody and their sister knows that. That's not the question here. But the question is, how are they getting enough talent to continuously win? Because that's what they seem to do. They can let go of a Trey Flowers instead of paying that guy and then bringing in Michael Bennett, who's not that far away from what he's doing. That's my point, is they don't get hung up on, we've got to hold on to this guy, that guy, and the other guy. They will let people go in a heartbeat as long as it's going to be beneficial to them. That's the way they look at it. Nobody is untouchable other than Tom Brady on that team. And they're not going to overpay a free agent. They're going to let the dust clear, and they're going to say, hey, look, we're New England. We win Super Bowls. We'll pay you. Come in for a year or so, fix your name, and you can go out and get another big payday. So, yeah, I will I talk about New England because I would like our team to be run a little bit better than that. Oh, I love all the cockroaches that are out right now. And okay, and Brian, you know how many players New England signed? 0. 0. And you know what? I guarantee you New England will be in the playoffs next year and are probably an odds-on favorite to make it to the Super Bowl again. Rick, you're right. We do need more people to try and answer it. Jeff Heath sucks. You have to hand it to Robert Kraft. Hand it to Robert Kraft. Hand it for the job he's doing. Hand it for the job. Okay. Cowboys sign second-tier free agents and get second-tier results. Well, punch drunk savage. That's what we did last year, but we actually improved last year, wouldn't you say? We went from 9-7, 10-6, okay, without signing a big-name free agent. We've won more games over the last 4 seasons in our division than anybody else and got our financial house in order. JL, how do you have that we go 7-9? That's what drives me crazy is how many people are so negative. Think about this for a second. What if, as everybody who was on the bandwagon of saying we need to keep Dez Bryant, what if we had kept Dez Bryant last year instead? Do you think our team would have went to the playoffs last year? Do you think we would have won the division last year? It hurt, and I'm not, because I know people will turn around and say, "Oh, you're just trashing Dez." I'm not trashing Dez, but what I'm saying is, for whatever reason, Tony Romo and Dez had a great thing going. They worked out well. That never happened with Dak and Dez. Just don't know why. It just never clicked. Amari Cooper was okay with Derek Carr, but Amari Cooper and Dak, they click. So, do you think if we had kept Dez Bryant there last season that we would have had the same results that we did once we got Amari Cooper? I don't. It ended up being a good thing, the hard way, that we got Amari Cooper. I don't believe that there's a wide receiver in the draft this year that you would be able to plug in that could do what Amari Cooper does right now. It ended up being a good thing. So, last year at this time, what did everybody say? Or it was actually a little later when they finally let go Dez. But when we let go Dez, oh, here we go, losing season, we're gone, we're done, it's over with. There ain't nobody else, only Dez. Dak will waste Cooper. Okay. It's nice to see the Dak haters back out the woodwork in. The Cowboys are interested in Sue, but they want to get the right price. And that's the bottom line on here. The thing is, that's your opinion that you don't believe that. I don't believe in what, Agent 9? I think, listen, let me say again. I think Earl Thomas would have been a benefit for the team at the right price. And I do believe that the Cowboys, listen, it's tough. Let me say again the exact same thing I said last year and the year before. It is tough to repeat in the NFC East. It is the hardest division to be a repeat winner. The last time a team repeated as division champions was the 2003-2004 season when the Philadelphia Eagles did it back-to-back. They owned the division at that point. But since that time, more times than not, the team that's in the basement turns around and ends up winning it. Now, I don't think that the New York stinking Giants have a shot in hell this year of doing it, getting rid of all the talent. They are literally taking their team and saying, we're going to implode it, we're going to try and get high draft picks, we're going to draft a quarterback, and we're going to start trying to build and just basically start all over, get rid of all of the overpaid talent that we have, and just try and start out with a new team, and maybe 2 or 3 years from now, we'll compete for a Super Bowl, which is what you have to look at. And that's where we are with the Dallas Cowboys. We were fortunate enough that in 2015 that we sucked so bad. Had we had a mediocre season, we wouldn't have gotten Zeke Elliott. Had we not let go of DeMarco Murray, we wouldn't have gotten that compensatory pick to have gotten Dak Prescott because, excuse me, because we sucked. We were able to get players that made a difference for this team. That draft will go down, if we win a Super Bowl, as maybe one of the greatest drafts that the Dallas Cowboys ever got. Because you got Zeke, you got Jalen Smith, you got Dak Prescott, you got Collins, you got Brown in there. And if they ever learn how to use Rico, you can throw Rico into that mix as well. You have to get bad to get better. You get the cushier schedule. That being said, the Dallas Cowboys, the Eagles, the Redskins, the Giants are going to be gunning for your ass because you won the division. You're going to get everybody's best shot. You played longer, which means you have a shorter offseason to heal. People want to take the players that you have. Your coaches, well, nobody wants our coaches. Other than Chris Richard. Nobody, you don't have to worry about people wanting our coaches. But it's hard to repeat as division champs. I don't think the Redskins or the Giants at this point are going to be able to do it. But I worry about the Eagles. And a lot of that's going to hinge on, will Carson Wentz stay healthy? So, it's back to the drawing board. That guy's not there? Okay, next man up. Maliek Collins was in that draft. I have a whole lot of stuff in my head, so let me make sure that I get it right now. Our draft, let me get rid of the breaking news on Earl Thomas. Our draft, Zeke Elliott, first round. Maliek Collins, third round. Jalen Smith was second round. Dak Prescott. Jackson, well, that didn't do too good. But Maliek Collins was in that draft. Let's get the whole draft up here. Let's see. So that's what I'm looking at when you start talking about, say, what the Giants are looking at. Because teams, Jalen Smith, Maliek Collins, Charles Tapper is, he didn't do anything. Dak, of course. Anthony Brown. Kevon Frazier, special team standout. And you got Rico. Jackson didn't do much. And Rico. And that's it. You look at that draft. That draft made this team. So don't lose it just yet. Don't lose it just yet. There's still other guys out there that can help the team. This front office pushes things to the limit. What the fuck? Okay. G. Potter, I bet you said the same thing last year, that we weren't going to do jack last year, right? We're going to be 8-8. You know what? In fact, I remember the NFL Network saying they looked at the Cowboys being about 5-11. You remember those? All of you people that are so down on the Dallas Cowboys. The amazing thing is, you guys are talking about 8-8 next year. You don't realize we went 10-6 last year. We went 9-7 the year before. We went 13-3 that year. Now we had a 4-12. I'll give you that one. But then we were 12-4. We've had one losing season out of 5, and automatically you guys, because we didn't get Earl Thomas, are saying we're going to be 8-8 or we're going to be 7-9. Are you kidding me? You guys don't understand the dynamics of football and the cap. If we pay, because, think about this. If you pay Earl Thomas $13.7 million for year, it's just, to me, it's just too much. It's just too much. You're talking about 7% of your cap money going to that one guy who'll be 30 years old. That's too much for that guy. I'm sorry. When you got 53 guys on the roster, by the time you end up, if you don't get a deal done with DeMarcus Lawrence, paying him $20 million, so that's 10%, 10.5% of your cap right there to DeMarcus Lawrence. And then by the time you end up getting, Amari Cooper's deal done, that's another 9% right there. And then you start looking at Tyron Smith being another 10%. All of a sudden, when you just go through the top 8 guys, you've got half of your money spent on those guys. Then that means the rest of the guys that you have are lower tier ones. And it's really about having a lot of really good guys on your team. So if you lose one guy, you've got somebody great or good to take their place. So there are other guys out there. And you're going to look and see, watch, the Raiders 2 years from now are going to be dumping Antonio Brown. Watch. In 2 years, you're going to see the Browns getting rid of Odell Beckham. Watch. G. Potter, stop with all of the math contract issues. You got to have the math work out, dude. You got to have the math work out. Everybody thinks that you can just pay this guy, pay this guy, pay this guy. It doesn't work that way. You're staring down the barrel of Zeke Elliott, Dak Prescott, Byron Jones, DeMarcus Lawrence, Amari Cooper. All of these guys have to get paid, as well as paying your rookie class. It's all part of the equation of what you have to do to try and win. Somebody clip that so we can show Mark what he's. Oh, please do. Please, you know what? Please, go ahead, find clips of where I've been wrong. I'm cool with that. Get Houston trades for D-Law for picks. You do that. Here's the thing. You would do that if you are the Giants. If you're talking about starting over with picks for DeMarcus Lawrence, you're not looking at a team that you can challenge for a Super Bowl right now. You're looking at a team that I'm trying to rebuild. D-Law is at the pinnacle of his abilities. Tied for first for tackles and loss in the NFL. Second in pressures. You need that guy right now. And if your window is, if you're thinking that we got a 2-3 year window before we run Zeke into the ground, you pay D-Law because that is the best guy there. There is nobody out on the free agent market who is anywhere near as good as D-Law is and has the shelf life that you should get from that guy. That's a mistake to trade him now because you're not looking at anybody in the draft and say, this is a generational player that will be able to step in and do what DeMarcus Lawrence does. Because you take him off this defense, that defensive line is nowhere near as good. And that defense is nowhere near as good. Your linebackers are playing as well as they are because of what Tank Lawrence is doing. You take that off of there, now defenses don't have one guy that we have to say, we got to stop him. So now you're going to the next tier guy that you can double team, or maybe you're just having a single guy on there. That gives the other team another person they can put out there. That means it's going to be longer that the cornerbacks and D-backs have to hold up. What you want to do is sign him and get another bad son of a bitch to put out there on the line. Yeah, well, the reason why he barely showed up was because of the attention he was getting. Do you know that the Rams never ran to his side? Not once. Not once. It's kind of like the shutdown corner because they know we can't compete with that guy over there. We need to go elsewhere with the ball. And that's what happened with DeMarcus Lawrence. Sometimes, and this is the argument that I had with people about Calais Campbell. Oh, he only gets 7 sacks a year. He's not worth that kind of money. The reason he only gets 7 sacks a year is because everybody is focused to make sure that he doesn't get those. He's getting attention. He's getting double teamed, sometimes triple teamed. And if you've got one guy that's doing that, then that means the guards aren't getting out to the linebackers and the linebackers to make the play. That means that everybody else across the line is getting single coverage. And so Dansby and everything else, when he was with the Cardinals, was getting a lot of sacks and stuff because of the attention that guy gets. And that's what you are with DeMarcus Lawrence. But DeMarcus Lawrence can't do it on his own. Part of the reason why Randy Gregory ended up having the 6 sacks that he did was because the attention on that side. So let the other teams overpay for these free agents. I'm okay with that. That's okay. If we can get a guy that can help our team for the right price, grab him. But don't overpay for him because you'll end up ruining it later on. If you just tuned in, Earl Thomas has signed a $55 million contract to go with the Ravens. Congratulations, Earl Thomas. Best of luck with you with the Ravens. More money than I would go for. You're right, Nick Blue. New England would trade D-Law. They would get something for him and let him go. You're right. You're right. And that's a lot of times when you look at sometimes the really big contracts, and this may be where the Cowboys are kind of trying to get D-Law for as cheap as possible. When you look at a lot of the big contracts that the Cowboys have signed, from DeMarcus Ware, from Jay Ratcliffe, from Miles Austin, to even Tony Romo, you haven't gotten a return on those investments. I can't think of one that you look back and say, yeah, that big-ass contract was worth it. You know what I'm saying? Dez, from the time he signed his, let's look at this real quick. So I always like to, at least, when I have an argument, at least have something to back me up. Here's the thing. If you go by Dez Bryant's stats, and we look at it, 2014 is when he got paid. Fantastic season. Where's my pen? 2014, fantastic season right there. 1,300 yards, 15-yard average, 16 TDs. You say, oh man, that's incredible. And we signed him to a long-term contract. And then you look at from there on out, after you paid him, what happened? He stayed injured. Now, I know 2015 Tony Romo got hurt, but he was also injured then too. So you look at that and say, we spent all that money for Dez, but we didn't get a return on it. You look at Tony Romo's stats after he had gotten his extension. I'm low on disk space on this card. Okay, I may have to end this stream here because the memory card is running out on this because I'm not on my usual thing. Let me see if I can do something with this from here. Hang on, guys. Hold it. Let me see if I can check something real quick. Anybody need tissue for all the crying? Well, there's no crying in football here. Okay, sorry. This thing automatically records all of it, and I was running out of space on there, so I had to clean it up real quick. Okay, so if a bunch of you guys want to get off the bandwagon now and leave the team, by all means, go ahead and find another team. Go ahead and become a Browns fan. But I'll be happy if the Cowboys do sign somebody else and save a boatload of money. So there's still other guys out there. What's wrong with my knee? I have no ACL in my knee. I tore it in high school and played college football on it and ran track and stuff. And it's literally bone on bone and it's rubbing a groove in it. So I have a knee brace that that I wear from time to time when it really bothers me to help basically take some of the load off of it. And a whole lot of ibuprofen, 800 milligrams that I take. So yeah, it's just a bad knee. One of those things that I talk about when football players are trying to get paid, that I look at and say, I ain't mad at them for getting paid, because this kind of stuff like my knee and things are things that we'll be living with for the rest of their life. So I'm okay. For everybody who thinks that I was going to cry, that I was going to lose my mind. Look, Michael's over here laughing.
I don't know why I said you were downstairs crying.
No, I'm not. My own. Like, can you believe?
No, I might need you to help me with something.
We'll help you with what?
We can talk about it off stream.
He's been live streaming saying that I'm probably down here crying. Hey, listen.
That's cool then.
There's no crying in football.
Unless you're Odell Beckham.
Oh, but here's Gibson. Here's what's funny. I've got when they prescribed it, it's 100 tablet bottles of it. They prescribed 4 refills of it. I'm still on the first one. I very rarely take it because I just don't like taking medications. But literally, say you can take every 8 hours, 3 of them a day. So that's 2,400 milligrams that's prescribed per day. 2,400 milligrams per day. And if you don't understand, one of those tablets are like 4 regular ones that you take from the bottle. So when you start thinking about what players are taking, and it makes you wonder about what David Irving was saying about, I'd rather go ahead and smoke some weed than take all the other stuff. I don't know about weed myself because I don't smoke weed.
Point when he says that.
But I know the side effects of taking other stuff, because if you don't take it, on an empty stomach, that shit makes you sick. So when Earl Thomas signs for $55 million, well, God bless you. I'm glad you got that money. I just don't want it to be my team to pay for it. And if people out there want to say I was wrong, I said all along that I don't want the Cowboys to overpay him. And I said $10 million, or if you're going to pay him a $15 million contract, the only way I would have done that is $8 million is guaranteed for you. Will make 7 more as incentives. So if you are the player you say you are, and you go ahead and get 4 interceptions or more, that you make the Pro Bowl, that you end up playing at least 10 games, no problem. I'll pay you $15 million, because you do that stuff, we'd be in the Super Bowl. But there's other guys out there too. They may not be able to do that. Q, I don't have that kind of time. Skype's closed. I don't have it set up on right now. Cowboys Crunk. We'll do that because this is actually, because it happened so quick, I just turned on the Mevo and I don't have the regular setup going right now. And I'm actually going to get back to work because we got to get back to work because I can't quit my day job. If Earl Thomas is signed, I might have been able to quit my day job because I've been right about a lot of things, but no, now we've got all the people that are going around saying Mark Holmes is wrong, Mark Holmes is an idiot. Mark Holmes is downstairs crying, as my own son even put it.
Yeah, but more people watch because they want to see you start crying.
They want to see me cry?
So I mean, that actually helps you out, though, in regards of more people watching.
Oh, okay. So what are you saying? I need to do a video spoof of myself crying?
I mean, yeah, I guess you could.
Oh, I'm crying. Okay.
Yeah, I did mine before yours, so they.
That's all good. So.
Hey, it's all good. It helps your numbers.
Whatever. Like I say, I'm a grown ass man, and if that's the best that people can get on me, then we're good. So. We brought back Jason, but can't get Earl. But here's the thing about Jason Witten. Jason Witten, I'm happy with $3.5 million. That's dirt. That's chicken feed. Trey Boston is out there. There's a couple guys out there. Eric Berry. And Eric Berry, I think Clinton Dix may end up re-signing with the Redskins. Eric Berry may be out on the market, in which case, if Eric Berry is out on the market, I'd sign him over Earl Thomas. Why bring back Jason Witten? Because as old as his ass is, he's still better than anybody else we have on that team. Thank you, Michael. I appreciate that I'm your ESPN. I don't know if that's a compliment or not, because ESPN gets a lot wrong too. Seems like they don't want to outdo their leader. Okay. Jason Garrett, I think he means. Okay. Well, we still need a safety, but Earl Thomas isn't the only one out there. Where can you order Joe Booth shirts? If you go actually to my other channel, on the main page, you can see the link for Teesprings. I don't have enough subscribers to have it put on this one. Don't ask me why, I don't know. But it's Teespring Cowboy Joe Boo, and I have the shirts and stuff on there if you want to order them. And if you use the code, let me put it on here, Power4, all capitalized, you can get a 20% discount. All right, and Joseph Hartley, if you're still here, I need you to send me your address again, because I got the shirt that's getting ready to come your way. And I can't wait till you do the stuff that you were telling me about. Scroll up, Mark, not the coach. Scroll up. Season is over. I can't believe the season hasn't even got here and people are talking about the season is over. Wow.
And I'm okay with that.
What?
If the season's over, because Jason Garrett's going to be gone for sure. Out the door. If that means Jason Garrett's going to be gone, I'm cool with that.
I apologize, guys. The chats are flying through so fast it's hard to go.
Win our division, but any little thing that can help Jason Garrett get out that door, I'm cool with it. We're still going to win our division.
Can I put something on the back of the hoodies? I'd have to redesign it, and it'd have to be a special one, but I think it's possible. You'd have to let me know what you want. I tell you what, email me at cowboysmark94@gmail. Can't find what channel? It's called The Woodbore.
We need to do is I'll put the link in the description.
The Woodbore is what it's called. Safeties in the second round, that's possible. Anthony Hickman, you are 100% right. You can't buy guys if you can't afford them. Now look at okay, let me give you an example here. The Redskins, think about this. Redskins, everybody's like, oh wow, they got Landon Collins and everything else. But the Redskins, they have $9 million. Do I still have it up here? No, that's Sammy Watkins. Okay. Where did I have it? Over the cap. Let me see. Is this it? Well, this is our cap. Okay, here. Take a look at this, guys. And I wish I could say I had my main setup on here. Here's the thing. Take a look at this. $20 million for DeMarcus Lawrence. $15 million Tyron Smith. $14 million for Zach Martin. Amari Cooper, $13 million. Travis Frederick, $10 million. Tyron Crawford, $10 million. Now, this number will change down to about $6 million for Sean Lee. Lyle Collins, $9 million. Zeke Elliott is at $7, $8 million. Okay? Byron Jones. You start putting these in here, you can't put in 13.7 on top of this, too. That would be irresponsible. You've got all these top-loaded contracts that are way too high to begin with, and that's your problem. And when you look at a team like the Washington Redskins right now, yeah, they went ahead and got a safety when they need a quarterback. As you start going down the line here, where's the New York stinking Giants? The Giants, they're purging. Giants. They have $29 million, right, of cap space, which is good, but they got no players. They've got $33 million in dead space. And as you go down here to the Redskins, who ended up signing a safety when they need a quarterback, they need offensive linemen, they need defensive linemen, they've got so many holes, they got $9 million. $9 million after signing a safety. So the Cowboys don't want to be that guy. And you don't want them to be that guy. So I'm okay. that we didn't sign Earl Thomas for 13.7. If we could have signed him for 10 or 8, I've been happy. I'm happy we didn't sign him for 13.7. So that's where we are with this right now. And I need to get back to work because I got to get these cabinets varnished and things. But maybe a little live stream from the workshop while we're varnishing and things. We can talk about it more then. But I got to pay the bills. So as always, friends, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Jobu Sports Report. Don't worry, I'm not jumping off the bridge. I'm not crying. I'm not going to lose my mind. Cowboys Mark 94 at gmail.com. Okay? Cowboys Mark 94 at gmail.com. We're going to be okay, guys. It's going to be okay. The Dallas Cowboys were smart not to overpay for people. We were in the same boat last year. We were looking at replacing Des Bryant. We kept saying, why didn't we sign this guy? Why didn't we sign that guy? Oh, the Cowboys are going to suck. And yet, we were one of 12 teams in the playoffs. Okay? We'll have more later on, guys. Thank everybody for being here.